So first of all is Susie Light. By the way, this panel represents community, civic, political, governmental, educational. It's the grab bag group. All right. If the previous panel was the business focus, so this is more the community and civic group. Susie Light is the executive director of the Kosciuszko County Community Foundation. She attended Indiana University in Bloomington and completed the organizational management degree program from Goshen College in 1995. She's a graduate of KLA and the Cannon Institute of Finance Foundation Management School. During Susie's tenure, the Community Foundation's assets have grown from just over $400,000 to over $42 million. In addition to her responsibilities as executive director of the foundation, Susie serves on the following nonprofit boards: Ancilla College, Catholic Charities of Fort Wayne South Bend Diocese, Cherry Creek Property Owners Association, Indiana Grantmakers Alliance, Kosciuszko County Senior Services, North Media Capital Foundation, and OrthoWorks. She is also the adult advisor for Key Club. Key Club is a group of students who actually make grant decisions through the foundation, so they have the power to recommend grants even as high school students. Susie's a member of the Indiana Grantmakers Alliance State Committee for Community Foundations, and she served as president in 2009. In 2001, Susie was recognized by the Warsaw-Kosciuszko County Chamber of Commerce as Woman of the Year. And in 2006, she was presented with the Indiana Grantmakers Alliance Hazlett Award for Leadership Grant Making. Next, we have Mary Kittrell, and Mary began her work at the Kosciuszko County CBB in August of 1997. She was with the Chamber of Commerce prior to that. And she was sales manager there and began as the executive director in 2005. Mary currently serves on many boards, including the Pierceton Chamber of Commerce, the Symphony of the Lakes, the Warsaw Biblical Gardens, the City County Athletic Complex, Lake City Greenway, the Bike Friendly Community Task Force, and the Northern Indiana Tourism Development Commission. She also serves on the First Friday Committee, Lakes Festival Committee, and is volunteer with JA, which is Junior Achievement, and the Remnant Trust. She's a graduate of the Kosciuszko Leadership Academy and the Warsaw Citizens Police Academy. Next is Sheriff Rocky Gottschert, and Rocky graduated from Warsaw High School in 1975. He went to Hanover College, where he got his BA in Business Administration. He has been a member of the Indiana State Police Force for 21 years. He's now retired from the State Police Force, and he was elected sheriff and has been serving in that capacity for the last 5 years. And he's also a member of the Optimist Club. So thank you, Sheriff Gottschert, for being here today. State Representative Rebecca Kubacki is the middle child of 7. She was born to migrant workers, and she first moved to Indiana from Texas when, as a little girl, her parents were hired to pick tomatoes on a farm in Oswego, Indiana, only a few miles from where she currently resides in Syracuse today. Rebecca attended Pierceton High School in Pierceton, Indiana, which is where she met her husband, Michael Kubacki. And these high school sweethearts were married after dating for 4 years and have now been married for 37 years. And they have 2 adult children. Mike is the president and CEO of Lake City Bank. Rebecca received the Volunteer of the Year Award in Wheaton, Illinois, while she and her husband and family lived in Chicago. She was also the Los Angeles Volunteer of the Year for the Los Angeles Children's Aid Society. And she is the Kosciuszko County Chamber of Commerce Woman of the Year for 2006. Many, many local boards, including the Literary Services, the Syracuse Public Library, the Wawasee Area Conservancy, Symphony of the Lakes, United Way, Warsaw Biblical Gardens, Tri Kappa, Kosciuszko County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Fort Wayne Zoo, and she's a trustee at the Indiana State Museum. And then finally, Brett Boggs. Brett is a 1974 graduate of Mentone High School. He also attended Burkett Elementary School and Talma Junior High School. And he graduated from Ball State and also got his Master of Arts in Elementary Ed from Manchester. He's a Grace grad, where he got his bachelor's degree. He's a graduate of KLA and of the Fulton County Leadership Academy and of the Indiana Principal Leadership Graduate Academy and a graduate of the Indiana Principal Leadership Academy. He currently serves as superintendent of the Tippecanoe Valley School Corporation. He has now been an educator with that school corporation for 33 years. He received the District 2 Elementary Principal of the Year Award by the Indiana Association of School Principals in 2004 and the Administrator of the Year by the Indiana Association of Student Council in 2003. He is the current President of the Board of Directors of the Palestine Bible Church, current President of the Board of Directors of the Palestine Cemetery, current Board of Directors of Fulton County Partners in Education, past President there, and currently serves with the Fulton Economic Development Corporation, He's the board of directors of the Akron Carnegie Public Library, and he's a founder and current member of the Akron Community Relations Task Force. So Brett really strongly represents sort of the southwest quadrant of our county, and as Mark mentioned, was very instrumental in bringing Patrick Carr here because of his passion for some small communities. So, who's got the mic? Susie? All right, Susie, your story. What was that decision that caused you to either be a stayer or returner?
My name is Susie, I am a boomerang, and I married a stayer. This feels like a 12-step program. You notice when Alan read my resume, he said I attended Indiana University of Washington. So after high school, I went off to IU. I had so much fun. I left before they asked me to.
That's hard to believe.
I came home, went to Fort Wayne for a while, met my husband Steve White on a blind date, fell in love, got married. You know, I remember two things about high school distinctly. One, I remember saying the phrase, "I can't wait to blow this cow town." And the second thing I remember specifically is when I was a junior in high school, watching the scholarship distribution ceremony that happened in front of all of the school corporation. And I didn't think, oh, how neat it would be to get a scholarship. I thought, how neat it would be to have that job, handing out those scholarships. And I get to do that in my job. But that was not really, that was not a coincidence, it was a godcidence. I wanted to share, though, my husband's story because I think it's really relevant to the stuff we're talking about. Steve graduated from high school in 1964 and went to work at Donnelly, R. Donnelly, a large printing company. When Steve started there in the mailroom, he worked his way up. He was lucky to get an apprenticeship at Donnelly and become a journeyman printer. That's equivalent to a college degree. He retired a year ago in April after 45 years at Donnelly with a wonderful career there, and that was a big blessing to our family. It offered me the opportunity when I worked prior to having children. Then when I had children, I could be a stay-at-home mom and volunteer for things. And through that volunteer work, I had the opportunity to meet Neil Carlson, and Neil asked me to come to work at the Community Foundation. And without understanding fully what I was saying yes to, I said yes. And he said, well, don't you want to read about it? Don't you want to research this? I said, no, I want the job. So that is my story.
Things are a little different at Donnelly now, right? It's not as easy to climb your way up. Is that true?
It is not easy to, and it's much like Dr. Carr explained about John Deere. Now kids get hired in through temporary services. The opportunity to graduate from high school and go to work at Donnelly and stay there 45 years isn't available to my child.
So the economic times have really caused that different decision-making process for many kids today. Okay. Mary, your story?
I'm Mary, and I'm a stayer. I'm from a family of stayers. My mother's a stayer, my grandparents were stayers, my great-grandparents, and my great-great-grandparents were stayers. So we just like the community. I was kind of that stayer from your book. I was smack in the middle of my class to graduate from high school. I knew I was going to graduate, get a job at Zimmer's or somewhere in the community. Instead, I got a job at the Chamber of Commerce, decided I would keep it a year, make connections, and get a real job. So I'm still in the same type of work, and it is a real job, and I truly enjoy it. I guess I can't say I really made a conscious decision. Alan keeps telling me I do, or did. I just didn't look at anything else. I mean, the only one of my siblings that left because her husband was in the military. So this is our community, we were raised that way, and we love it.
So again, that, like Rick was saying, that strong sense of legacy, that family tradition, that multi-generational rootedness really
Yes.
kept you here.
It did.